My time in China was all about learning how to navigate new places by myself. In contrast, my time in Japan was all about the joy of exploring places with strangers, turn new friends. On top of that, I also want to share my favorite restaurants, shops, monuments, and activities that I did in different cities all over Japan. I went to Tokyo, Kyoto, Sapporo, and Osaka. Typically when planning my trips, I know I want to hit up museums, hit up art galleries, and get really amazing food. But this trip was slightly different because I used TikTok to plan a lot of my activities, which gave me some really cool suggestions and some great disappointments. That's the case for the Millennial Shibuya. I didn't love it. It was a great stay, but for that price point, I think I could have just gone ahead and gotten a hotel room. In contrast, I really loved creme brulee sweet potato pancakes. This was a recommendation that I could not escape on TikTok. And you know what? I'm glad I didn't escape it. Like, it was honestly really good. This was not my favorite thing that I had in Japan, but I definitely enjoyed it, and it was just something fun and different. Also, this cafe had a really nice ambiance. I liked the food, I liked the decor, the wait staff was really nice. It just was really good vibes. So I'm realizing now that I don't have a good video clip, but I went to this really cool pop-up exhibit and it was all about poop. Yeah, it was all about how can we make poop sustainable in terms of art or in terms of more functional things like tile. Overall, I just had a good time. It was fun and something different to do, and I learned a lot. I was able to visit the National Art Center in Tokyo. This was a really cool stop. It was a good mix of traditional Japanese art as well as more modern art. After my museum visit, I grabbed ramen for lunch. This place is all over TikTok. This was a TikTok recommendation that definitely did not disappoint. If you have the opportunity to go to one of the Oreo Shio ramen locations all over Tokyo, definitely try it out. I highly recommend it.
Let's go. Good fortune. Ooh. My wish will be realized. The person, that's nice. Marriage and employment, all good. What? Not married, but someday.
I was pretty happy with the fortune that I got at Sensoji Temple. It's funny because this temple and some of the other ones have a reputation or are known for having a high rate of bad fortunes, and a couple people in my group actually did get bad fortunes. But don't worry, there is a process that you can do while you're there to kind of cancel it out. So my fingers are crossed for you guys if you ever go. Originally, my group was supposed to have this really cool view of Mount Fuji via a gondola ride. Gondola was also not operating, so we didn't get to do that, so we just did a mini little cruise instead. This, I would say, was it was a good cruise and I did have fun, but I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit disappointed because I would have wanted to see Mount Fuji. So next time I'm in Japan, I'm gonna have a Mount Fuji day where I actually go see Mount Fuji. Unfortunately, I can confirm that it actually does really smell like rotten eggs, but it is really beautiful, and I went to the indoor museum and it's really beautiful, and I learned a lot about this, natural wonder, so no complaints. You can see in the background. You could see it. My time at the Meji Jinju shrine was probably one of my favorite parts of my time in Japan. This was just a really beautiful area, really beautiful shrine. It was really cool to see all the customs and traditions. My tour guide and one of the tour guides at the area kind of went over the history. It was just really fascinating to learn about it all. And as you can see, the view is just stunning as well. So I think walking around, just taking all of that in, also inspired a great deal of introspection. So even in that regard, it was really beautiful. Caught it. Fortune. And then on top of that, it's once you kind of get out of that area, there's a bunch of tourists everywhere, but then there's just a lot of food and drinks and just restaurants, and so you could honestly spend 5 hours at the shrine just taking it all in, participating and stuff, and then walk out and spend another 5 hours just eating and drinking all of the amazing food. And I really loved the food there. The matcha I got from Gogako, Kyoto, was amazing. I'm not a big matcha fan, so one of my goals during this trip was just to try as much matcha as possible, because I figured, when in Japan, right? It's got to be better in Japan. And I will say it's definitely better in Japan. There's like way more options, different, like I had never heard of Hojicha matcha. So there's so many different types of matcha, and obviously if you want to get a matcha latte with ice cream, you can do that too, which is what I did. But yeah, I really got to get in all of my matcha. And I will say, although I'm still not a matcha girly, I like it way more after this trip than I did prior to going.
This I like. I'll get in it.
Incense.
I know. Wait, that's nice. There we go. Thank you. Oops. Yummy. Yay. Thank you. Yeah, no, that's a gift. Bamboo forest.
I didn't realize I didn't need it.
Bamboo forest. If you have time on your trip, I definitely recommend trying to go to a traditional tea ceremony. That was a really unique experience that was included on my tour, where we got to learn about the process of making like traditional ceremonial grade tea. That was really fascinating to learn about. After that, I also went to Glanto and got custom rings. That was also really cool. That was something that I saw all over TikTok. Everyone is like, go get rings, go get rings. And what I will say is get there super early if you can, because if you get there early, number one, you won't have to wait as long, and maybe you can even make your own rings. My friend and I, we didn't make our own rings, but we did get there just in time to be like the second to last people that were helped before they closed for the day, which was awesome to cross it off our list and to get these really cool custom rings into the process that went into it. It's something you don't see a lot nowadays, so it was just cool to customize it, get our special touch, and just see like the hard work and artistry that does go into creating really amazing pieces of jewelry. I ended my trip in Japan by heading out to Sapporo, and when I was in Sapporo, I went to the Sapporo Ice Festival and went skiing. It was pretty cool going to the Sapporo Ice Festival because before Japan, I was in China visiting the Harbin Ice Festival. Kind of cool to contrast the two different ice festivals. Both were a lot of fun. I would say definitely go to Sapporo Ice Festival if you want to see more like pop culture references, whereas in my mind, I think the Harbin one has more like games and things to do. You do have to pay for the Harbin Ice Festival, where from what I saw what I experienced at Sapporo Ice Festival was free. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And then my ski trip was honestly just a lot of fun. That was kind of something that I added on relatively late. And then when I was there, I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to come back to Japan and do a real ski trip because it was literally thebomb.com. It was amazing. If you've seen my Switzerland vlog, my Japan experience was also way more calming. Like I didn't need to get rescued by a ski patrol this time around. So that too was also really amazing. But aside from that, like I booked it through Klook, and so it was really nice to kind of have this all-inclusive service that I paid for where they drive you up, you get your gear that's paid for, you get your lesson, and then they drive you back to the city center. So like that was kind of a really chill way to spend my last day in Japan.
There's a mountain to climb.